My name is Alex MacFarland, and this is my advisor, Dr. Hayley Schiebel. I am part of the class of 2020 at Suffolk University in Boston, Massachusetts. Together, Dr. Schiebel and I compared two CDOM methodologies. CDOM stands for Colored Dissolved Organic Matter, and it can affect water quality. The higher the concentration of CDOM in the area, the darker the color of the solution. Current CDOM analysis is conducted using instruments that are large, bulky, and expensive, such as this instrument shown. In this study, the accuracy of this more compact, less expensive field spectrometer was compared to the previous instrument. 36 samples were collected from the Neponset River salt marsh in Boston, Massachusetts, and analyzed on both instruments with the same set of standards for comparison. The correlation between the two instruments for the 36 samples analyzed was average when all samples were included in the data set. However, the 6 points shown in red were later determined to be outliers. These outliers all required 3 or more fold dilutions. When those data points were removed, it resulted in a strong linear correlation of the sample concentrations between instruments. This dilution error can be attributed to the length of time between sample analysis, which was roughly 1 year. The samples were frozen and thawed several times throughout that duration, which was believed to have an effect on the samples with higher organic matter in them. A two-sample, assuming equal variances t-test, was conducted to determine if the treatment groups were significantly different from each other once the 6 outliers were removed. Because the p-value is greater than 0.05 and the t-statistic is less than the t-critical value, this means that the two treatment groups are statistically the same. Therefore, this means that the cheaper and more field-appropriate CDOM analyzer is equally as accurate as the traditionally large and expensive one. The only noticeable drawback to the cheaper instrument is that it requires additional steps in Excel to acquire the final output, which can be confusing if the analyst is not familiar with Excel software. This drawback is compensated by the instrument being able to be brought into the field, where the data can be stored and saved at the time of retrieval and configured back in the lab. Overall, these two instruments were determined to be equally as reliable.